Okay, so this is a Ford F150 problem.
I guess.
That's what you told me to say.
I didn't tell you to say that. So describe the problem.
Okay, this is my F-150. Once again, I just did the fuel tank not long ago, the fuel pump, fixing the patch and hole. Well, it seems that I've caused a brake fluid leak in one of the lines that run down the same part of the frame as the lines for the tank. It's leaking a little bit of fluid, and I am going to try to figure out what's leaking and what I need to do to fix it. Okay, and I'm actually going to remember, I actually remember to get safety glasses for once. You'll need that because I got to watch where it's spraying from, because I can't tell where the leak is because it's building up on the frame. So everything is coated in brake fluid, so I don't know where the leak is.
I can find this leak for you. Give me a lighter in 5 seconds. I will find where the brake fluid is leaking from.
Well, it's right on the fuel tank and with gas and everything else, so it'll all just burn.
See, and there, I will have solved your problem.
No, you won't.
There you go. Well, you won't be worried about your brakes anymore.
The lines to come out of the brakes. They run on back and they come up there. And they're leaking along the frame here. This is going to be hard to see. They're up there. So, let's see what we can get. Would you mind pumping the brakes?
I was about to ask if you wanted
Not
me to
super,
do that.
super hard, but
Hard as I can, gotcha. Not pumping them hard, just kind of hard-ish.
push and hold.
Holding.
Which you can't hardly see because there's tanks and stuff in the way. I'm not seeing any leaks. Where's the? This way. All right, pump, 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 kid. I'm not seeing where it's leaking. I gotta tighten that belt.
Yep.
And then pump the brake a couple times and hold it.
1, 2, 3, hold. The door is ajar. But it's also a door. But it's also ajar. You found it?
Okay, well, it's leaking above the tank, about where I was showing, but I still can't tell where, and I'm going to have to take the tank out again to get in there to work on it. It looks like there might be a junction. I'm going to try to look, see if I can't find some schematics and see if there is a junction, and it may be the junction leaking instead of the hard line, but I can't tell. I just know that it's putting a good bit of fluid out when you hold the brakes in. But it's not so horrible, it's not spraying everywhere, so it's drivable. You just have to keep adding brake fluid. But it's still a problem that's got to be fixed, and I've got to figure out what the line is.
So this might be, when you see this again, it may be the next day, maybe another day.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on it before. I can't afford to take this vehicle out of commission because it is one of my primary vehicles. So I'm kind of in a hard spot. I just got it back when I need it the most, and what I need to do is drop the tank, take all that out, and then find the brake line, but to do that, I'm going to be down for a few days. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it.
All right.
All right, so.
See you in a bit. When you see this, it'll be a different day. When you see this next, it'll be a different day.
Most likely. All right. Now, as I mentioned before, which I don't know if you're going to be in here or not because I was over there filming something else, I have discovered that it did the hard line running from the axle line to the front junction that goes up. It's up here, kind of where all the dirt fell out. Is broken at the clip above the tank, so it's going to be clipped in the frame about here, between the tank and the frame at the top.
So somewhere around where that hole is, close to where that hole is, right there.
Somewhere in there. You won't be able to see anything. I tried to shoot it before, and you couldn't hardly see anything because there's a tank in the way.
Yeah.
But, so I'm going to have to find that line and replace it. Right now, all I'm doing is spraying the junctions down with PB Blaster, not a sponsor, because those things are going to be stubborn to come out. And as I mentioned before, when I looked at it, it looks like the hard line has been replaced, and the rubber line may be replaced because that rubber line seems way too new to be the original. It's still in very good shape. It still feels fairly new. So I have a feeling maybe 5-6 years ago that may have been replaced. It looks like the age on it. So either that or it just held up really good.
I'm going to go with it's probably been replaced.
But I'll have to replace that line, order that line, replace that line, then bleed the brakes. This one looks to have the one piece instead of the two piece. There's apparently some of these, that solid line is a two piece on some of these setups, and there's a one piece on others, and this one seems to have the one piece.
Is that the one I want, is a one piece, not a two piece?
If you could do a one piece, that would be better because you have one less point to fail in it. And in all truthfulness, from everything I've seen, the ones with two pieces, in theory, you should be able to replace just one section of that, but I haven't seen anybody replace just one section of that. I think generally they rot out together, so one goes bad, the other one's going to break while you're working on it.
That's what I figured, but I just wanted to verify.
So I'm going to get it. I'm just getting it now where I can get to it. I'm going to order it. Hope I can order an original. If not, I know two places here that make lines, which means I'll have to pull it, plug it, and take it in.
So either way, this video is getting more and more interesting by the minute.
It's just like anything for me. It can't be simple.
No.
I could potentially pull this line, take it off, and do a temporary repair, but there's no point in that. Temporary repairs on brake lines are just that. They're meant for your somewhere you cannot get a line, you have to get somewhere else. You can use there's certain epoxies that aren't really made for it, and you got to be careful sometimes to block the line off, but the whole point of it is just to get you home. And you use that with a piece of rubber line you slit, and you put it over, or if you have a spot where you can take it off and slide the line on, you can do that. Put the epoxy around, slide that line over, and then hose clamp it where the brake is. And that can get you a few miles. And like I said, that is an emergency situation. That is, you cannot get a line, and you cannot just wait for a line.
In other words, so if I do this, I shouldn't drive around all week on it?
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
Can I drive around all day on it?
You should be able to. The biggest thing is going to be continue to check your brake fluid. You're going to have to check your brake fluid all the time because it's probably continuing to leak.
Can I drive a trip of 500 miles on it?
I want to say no, but I've done that. So
can I drive a trip of 500 more? Just to be the one to drive 1,000 miles to get to your front door?
Copyright.
I didn't sing it. It doesn't count.
And so, also, if mud, I've noticed there's only a few places where this truck had rust underneath. And this was from a T-point. And all that dirt was packed up in it, and that mud sitting there holding water is what rotted it out.
So rinse the underneath of your trucks. Rinse your trucks off. That's what I'm learning from here. It's just, you know, hey, who cares about what it looks? It's a work truck. Yes, I got it. But all that mud starts to rot things after a while if you want to keep it more than 4 years.
And there's sheared off bolts on both sides, so I'm pretty sure it had side steps at one time. So,
did those rot off too, or?
I'm guessing they did, and it looks like the bolts were rusty. It's like I got in there, and it's just a little broken bolt. I'll show when I do the line, because I'll be working right next to it. It's like, why is there just a nub of a bolt? And I pushed it, and it went up. It's like, oh, I'll put that back and save that for later.
I could just imagine somebody going, oh my God.
Yeah, it probably, they are bad about rotting, and they probably rusted and rotted away, and they just cut them off because you couldn't get the bolt off, and left the nubs from the other side of what they didn't cut off.
How nice of you to invite me out to your pool today.
Yeah, it was higher. Since the last time we were working on this, we've gotten a lot of rain. Got the brake lines in. I bought a full set because it was the last one. It is dormant, and I managed to find one place that had a factory one that they conveniently squished into a small box.
Doesn't that kind of
defeats the purpose of having a already fitted line? Yes. I'm going to have to pull the line on there and see if this one will even match, because it may or may not match, and I can't tell now that it's been scrunched. And this one, while it has all the lines, I think that's the right one, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I would rather use this one if it'll work, because it has the new rubber on it. So I just replaced that whole bracket, and it's rubber coated. It's supposed to solve the defect that these lines had with corroding out.
Or we could...
It's a Ford original part.
Or we could, hear me out, we can get some Flex Seal and spray this whole line with... I'm kidding.
And I don't know why they put a spring thingy on it, but this will also not
feels kind of
fit.
weird.
Yeah, it's also not going to fit in the clips. So this won't stay up there on the clips.
JB weld it.
So
Flex Seal it, then JB weld it. Or JB weld, then Flex... I don't know.
But at least I got the lines. I bought that set just in case I break another line, and it was... This one was the last of the Dorman ones I saw listed. And you can still get these things by other companies, but they cost 3 times as much.
There you go. There's the part number and everything if y'all need that.
And then the part number for this line is on the bag. So this is the original Ford part.
And there's the part number for this one if y'all need that.
Which we'll see in a little bit whether or not it's going to work.
Well, yeah. Considering they basically balled it up and then threw it in the box.
Yep, and it's supposed to fit this vehicle, but I'm not entirely sure. Where did I put those wrenches?
Yeah. Thank you, that place full of geeks that gives you parts. Not that we're calling anybody out.
They were the only one that showed having it, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you were getting the door set or another aftermarket set.
I'd love to see how they ship windshields. Just smash the whole thing,
So
pour
break
the...
it in half, put some tape on it, you're good.
Yeah. Just send you the safety glass in pieces in a box.
Can you hand me a 12mm wrench?
I can.
The new ones are 16 and 11. The old ones can be 16 and 12.
Okay. In case the camera did not pick that up, he said the new ones seem to be 16 and 11. Old is 16 and 12.
And old is 16 and 12. Okay, I need a 13.
Alrighty. Getting a 13.
Yep, 13 to 16. And I'll show, hand me the camera and I'll show where the upper connection is. There's the upper connection for this main line back, and you can see the condition of that line going up to the ABS unit is why I bought the full kit, because I'm worried it's going to leak after I get done working on it.
What is that upper connection right there next to? What is it near?
All the fuel lines and the wiring harness.
Okay. So there's nothing, no identifiable thing on there that it's right?
Well, it's right above the fuel filter.
There you go. Thank you.
Stuff I sprayed it with 2 weeks ago did its job and loosened it up. It came right loose.
Oh, there we go. That's cool.
And there it's bleeding. Show all the little clips. This line I'll have to have taken off. See if I can get so you can see that. Maybe. Right there. Sorry about it being sideways. But you got these little clips that you'll have to separate. Probably use a flathead screwdriver to help. And pop this line out. And there's multi ones up there. One way up there. And that's the one where the brake is. And then there's one back behind. Way back there. And then you have the soft line that comes down to the axle. Which, if this matches, I'll replace soft line too. But I'm going to check this in first because it looks like a lot bigger threaded end than what's on the new line. So that could be a problem.
What's the developments?
Well, that's definitely not going to fit because that's a lot smaller connector than what's on there.
So thanks.
And so are these.
And double thanks.
Alright, I'm going to have to take this line off and possibly get one made because it doesn't look like either possibility I bought match. So I'm going to use, these are vacuum caps. You use the back side of them and you just kind of screw, I got two different sides to see which one will fit better. But you just screw it into the port and back it all the way in against the line, and it helps keep it from leaking all the fluid out. Because if it leaks all the fluid out, then you've got to drain the ABS module, and that's a nightmare. So, and you have to have special equipment to do it. And it's not worth taking a chance. Ow. I don't know if you're seeing anything with that. I'm hoping you're seeing something with that, but I don't know. I can't see that side.
If they're not, then I can edit around it or something.
Or they'll get commentary with no visibility.
So they get commentary with...
But yeah, the bigger plugs don't work. And gotta have both hands. I'm gonna have to work over the brace bar. Should help keep it from losing all the fluid out of the brake line. And this will work because this is not a moving item, thankfully. But it's not perfect, but it helps. Pop the line out. Yes, I said flathead screwdriver helps. I forgot to grab one. Okay, hand me the 12.
Okay, here we are. As you can see, we're still working on these plug ideas, but I just wanted to make mention something that Carl told me off camera. If you're doing this and you're plugging the line like this, this isn't a get your home trick. This is a park it so the fluid can't escape trick. Don't try to drive it like this.
Yeah, it'll blow the line clear off. It'll blow that plug clear off.
Yeah.
And you'll very quickly not have any brakes.
What's going on?
I'm trying to get this line out of here, which is fun because it's above everything. So, trying to get it out in one piece so I can actually build a new line. Let's see if I can slide this back so I can get this to clear the wire harness there. I gotta get to clear the wire harness, then I can drop that side down. There we go. Pull it out that way. And brake line. See where it's wet, where it's leaking. And where I popped it was right here. Yeah, it's bent. That was a clip point. It's leaking there, and it's leaking right here with a split. So right there's your main hole. And that was right there in a bracket. You see how it's kind of corroded differently?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing I caught this when I was working on the tank, because you have a bunch of fuel lines right there, and probably bent it and popped a hole in it. Now, if worst comes to worst, I can potentially put some clean this off good. The section that's bad. Clean it off. Take a piece of hose that's going to be close to the same diameter. Slit it where the backside's facing here. Wrap this in something that'll tape or something that'll seal it good. Hello, friend. You don't want to be on me. And then seal it, but that's not a permanent fix. That'll just get you. That will get you home, but that's about it. It'll give a little bit more use out of it, but hopefully I can get it made. I'm going to dig through the set of lines, and maybe the right line's actually still in that box. But this is definitely not the line that's supposed to be for it that I got from the original equipment provider. That thing's nowhere close to being the right part. That don't even look like it's the right family. It don't even match up to stuff on the axle. So that, I have no clue what that's supposed to be for. It's not a Ford truck. Not this Ford truck anyway. Maybe it's for a Ranger? I don't know. Alright,
Well,
you. I'll find
no, either way, it's funny that they put F-150 in the description, particularly the 99, 2000, 2001 F-150 or whatever.
98 to 2004, I think is what it did.
Yeah.
Now this may actually be the rear feeder, rear half, rear axle. This might be the right one. Let's see. I had, should be 12 millimeter if they changed it. That'll be 12 or 11. But that actually may be right because this is for some reason standard, while the other end was metric. And that one should be 16. I don't have a 16 up here, but I've got a 15, so it's bigger than 15. It's not, it's 14. Not even a 14. No, wait, that was a 13, wasn't it? This might actually be the right line. I may have still looked out. Yeah, that's a 13, so I may actually have the right line in this set.
I can. Let's get the thing open, and then we'll get the part number to y'all real quick because it's attached to the line there. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to chase them around, see if I can't get it on the sly, but
Well, let me open it. I'm just trying to verify it before I open it.
yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be artsy fartsy, and it never works out. There we go. 60919 RR29. So Romeo Romeo for you military types. Or for Art Thou Romeo.
I'm glad I bought the last box of these.
Well, even these people bent it, but only bent it in one spot, not 9. You geek people for parts.
Wrong way.
I say close enough for government work.
Yeah. It looks like it's about right. It's going to be fun getting it in there. I'm going to check the end. I'm going to check. That one I know matches. This is the one I'm not sure on.
All right.
So I'll start with that end.
I like how they put a spring on it, so when you try to straighten it out one way, it just spins around to the other. Like, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And it also means it's not going to work with the clip, so it's just going to rattle around in there. I think I've got one clip that'll fit in, maybe 2. There's a bigger clip up high. I'll see if I can't get it in the high clip. But, yeah. This is going to be fun.
Yep. At least they didn't fold it into 9 pieces and then shove it in a small box.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way. As you can see, I'll put these back in the box. This is for other areas. But as you can see with this one, that's even if I would stretch that out, that's not going to be anywhere near as long as this line.
No. But that's how it came.
This hose is half the length of the rubber hose underneath it.
Yeah.
And that fitting looks nothing like what's there.
I think they honestly gave you a Ranger line. Something that goes for a Danger Ranger.
Either that, or it's a front brake line, or something. It's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is rear main connector line.
So apparently, the reason why this spring is on here is to protect it from rubbing, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
so a hole doesn't rub in it.
So isn't that just going to collect a whole bunch of dirt and debris and crap in it too?
It will. The rubberized coating they had on the Ford one I liked better. It's still, the rubberized coating will wear off, but it'll take longer. There. See, this one's a little bigger, so I might be able to feed it into these upper clips. So, we'll see. I got the new line in. As you can see. Well, maybe, there we go. I gotta get in here first so I can see it. But, right there's the new connection. And ran it back. I've managed to get that in. It was difficult, but I got it in the clips. And I was able to move this side all the way down up to the upper clip and use the upper clip. It wouldn't fit in the lower clip. But I was able to move it up a clip. But that made it really hard fighting with it down here at this end. Where it connects in there, because I had to bend the line a little bit more to line it up right, but I got it finally. Just a little bit of fighting.
Okay, so helps if I hold the wrench right. 7/16 is the original size on that brake line.
On the small end.
On the small end.
The large end was 13, just like the new one.
So the large end is a 13 millimeter like the new one, but the small end is a 7/16 for the old brake line.
So for now, we have to bleed the lines, get the air out of the system, and then it's done. I'm going to go get the vacuum kit to bleed it, because vacuum bleeding is the way to do it. If you got the kit, it's worth it.
It's worth the $20 or whatever from Harbor Freight. That's one.
Yeah, I think I spent $40 on that one. It was worth every penny.
That one's still working.
Oh yeah, and it's been very useful for all kinds of stuff. But first, I'm going to clean up some. So, these may have been 3/8 at once upon a time, or 10 millimeter, who knows. They're nothing now. So I've been fighting with them, and I've about got it filed down, crushed down and filed down. I've used pliers and squeezed it, and squeezed it, and squeezed it, and squeezed it. You can't get a good grip on it, but I worked it down, and then I went back and filed it to make it flat on both sides. It's been a slow process. If you have no room. And I've about got where an 8 millimeter will fit. It'll start fitting on there. And I'm going to take a hammer and knock it in. It's on there. And I put PB blaster on it to try to get it to loosen up. That ain't doing no good. I got it down to 8 millimeter, but I'm still not getting any grip on it. It's spinning instead of holding. I may have to bleed it over here, because I can't get either one of these loose. I'm going to go on and PB blast that. And that's perpetually the problem with this. Every time I squeeze it down, the bolt gets smaller. Well, let's try the other side and see if I can get it to bleed. Probably not. Probably no better than this side. Well, you can kind of see something. Let's try that side. The lock joints are not doing anything but eating steel off of it. That was an ugly way to do it, but we got it. I don't think it saw anything, but what I did was I used this here to bleed it. Up, down, up, down, up, down, and it was a, 7/16, which you need a plain end one to do, which this is all I've got. Because no one uses 7/16. That's good and tight, and now I got to check the connectors. That one seems to be good and dry. I think everything It's just fine.
Pumping. Do you see anything leaking?
Nope. Nope. No leakage.
What's this?
That's water coming out of the bed. At least I think that's what it is. Otherwise, the fuel line's leaking.
What's this?
Where the other brake fluid leaked when I did the connector. Completely dry. Yep, just water coming out of the bed. All right. Well, that should do it. I seem to have brakes again. Let's hope. Till next time. Remember, like, subscribe. Here, you hold it. I can't see if I'm even shooting myself. Okay, remember to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, bug other people with us, whatever. And look forward to seeing you next project.
Until you actually turn it on, try to drive it down the road with the power brakes, and the power brakes put so much power in the brake line that it... Pshoo.
Well, nothing's leaking, so we're good. Unfortunately, I have no idea what I'm going to do. That's going to come when I have to redo the brakes. I'm going to have to figure out some way to take those stops off because they are welded at this point. So, yeah. Next time.
Bonus round. Ew. Ew. Any explosions? No. No explosions.
And the odometer's working.
Miraculous odometer workage. Come on, focus on the right thing. Woo! Mosquito, no.
Get them at a good time. They're supposed to be larvae. Hey, so.
Hey now. You get the rest.
So long.